In this demo, we're going to create some days off in Dive 365. A day off is exactly what it sounds like, a special day where there isn't any diving, or that usual diving schedules are disrupted. A day off has a name and a date and determines the status of session classes when they're created. As an example, let's imagine an organization that's hosting a competition and wants to make sure that there's no classes that are scheduled for those days. So let's get started. Now I have Dive 365 open in my browser and I'm signed in as a global administrator in my organization, which is called D365 Club. So like the example, I want to create a set of days off in my calendar for competitions that I'm hosting this season. That way, when I schedule future sessions, they'll respect that time and won't schedule any classes. Now to create days off, we only need to be on the home page. Now there's lots of ways that we can create a day off. We can click the Add button that's right at the top of the page, and that's probably the easiest. Or we can find a date on the calendar and then double-click that day. In fact, let's do it that way. First, let's flip the calendar view to the month view by clicking on Month at the top of the calendar. Good. Now let's use the arrows at the top of the calendar to move ahead to a month later in the year. So let's say that we want to create some days off in November for a novice meet that we're running. Perfect. Now what we can do is we can double-click on any date. So let's say I double-click on the 13th. Great. So this opens up the Create Day Off pop-out on the right side of the screen. And the first thing we're being asked to do is give our day off a name. So I'm going to call mine Superstars Novice Meet. Perfect. Now we can select the date. Now, since I double-clicked a date, November 13th, it's already selected for me. But since we're trying to create days off for a competition, that's actually going to span multiple days. So I can create many days off all at once by turning on the Spans Multiple Days switch. Good. Now I can set the start and the end date. So I'm going to set the end date to the Sunday. And maybe I want the start date to be Thursday. Perfect. Now I can click Save at the bottom of the screen. And just like that, I have a day off, or at least a set of day off. And they all appear in my calendar as well. Now, one thing that you need to know about days off is that now that they exist, any new session that you create will automatically skip those days when it creates classes. However, any existing classes will remain on the schedule. So you do need to create days off before you create your sessions. And it's a good idea to do that at the start of every season. And now you can create days off for stat holidays, competitions, and any other time that classes will need to be skipped. So there you have it. In this demo, we created days off in Dive 365.